Single fight kick. Here we go. Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, here with Corey Graves and with Booker T. And today on NXT, we're going to talk about first what happened yesterday on Monday Night Raw. Well, you know, yesterday on Monday Night Raw, we happened to see Drew McIntyre take on Velasquez and beat her yesterday. Only understand it Melopathy or Manopathy or Manopathy or however, a Manapy, I guess, or a Manapy, however you say her name, a Manopy, I don't know, says that she's going to fight him in a Dumskavian match. And no one really seems to know what a Dumskavia match is, Gorilla Monsoon says. Well, the only thing I can come up with, Corey Graves says, that it has something to do with Dumskavia. You know. But that's all I know. You know, that's all I know. Because at the end of the day, I don't know anything more about it beyond that. I could tell you one thing right now, Booker T says. Drew McIntyre, I believe he will be ready for whatever match that Manopy puts him in. So I'm here on NXT, and a Manopy or Manopathy or however you say that Hellenish borrowed name. She says she's going to fight me in a strong woman match and a Dumskavian match. You know, and says that since she's a Mattel doll too, she thinks she can hang with the Highlandish fighter. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. She thinks that she's so getting my business. I'll kick your head off the same way that I did to Velasquez. Yeah, and once you did the Velasquez was sad. And I have dealt with many sad men and women in my life. And as the head of the Queen's Keepers of Dumskavia, I will not stand by while a fellow man or a fellow woman is harmed in any way. And what you did to Velasquez yesterday was sad. I'm going to ask you to say you're sorry. And if you don't say you're sorry, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. How are you going to beat the shit out of me? And I don't care if you were made by Toy Biz or Mattel or Hasbro or Jax or whatever. It makes no unlikeness to me. So you're not going to say you're sorry for beating up Alaska? No. Why should I have to say that I'm bloody sorry for what I did to that bitch Velasquez? She thinks that she's so cool and everything, but she's not. And and Velasquez just kicked him right between the legs, Gorilla Monsoon said. And Manopy just dropped him down too. I hate to do this. Oh! Come on, Velasquez. You're fighting me now. How you like it? You give me no onlook, and I give you no onlook. Hey, hey, hey. Look, Ric Flair says, I don't know much about what you do in the kingdom and the queendom folkreich of Demskavia, but here in the toy wrestling gathering, we just don't go around kicking folks between the legs like that. So, you want to have a match against Drew McIntyre? I don't know what a Demskavian match is, but I'll let you have it right here today on NXT. Woo! Well, Ric Flair made the match. That's unfair, Booker T says. That's unfair. Manopy beat up on Drew McIntyre and kicked him between the legs. And she's got some gall to talk about. She's got some gall to talk about class and onlook when she hasn't. Fuck. You know, and she's got some gall, you know, to talk about onlook and class when she doesn't show any onlook or class to anyone, Booker T says, kicking someone between the legs. Well, Gorilla Monsoon said, like the same onlook and class Drew McIntyre showed Velasquez yesterday on Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Raw. Gorilla Monsoon says, give me a break, Booker. Yeah, I got to side with Gorilla one time. You know, you were saying eye for eye, tooth for a tooth. I think it's only fair. And then Manopy right now is having her way with Drew McIntyre. And she is the head of the Queen's Keepers and Demskavia Queendom Folkreich. Queen Eleanor Starberg I must be truly proud of her for wrestling in the ring today, Corey Graves says. Oh, well, Gorilla Monsoon says, I did not know that. Thank you for letting me know. Manopy right now is picking up Drew McIntyre and slams him. She's strong. Maybe not as strong as Velasquez, or not as strong as Gabrielle, or maybe Diana is a little more stronger than her, but she's got her own thing. And now she coming back right now. Oh, Drew McIntyre just Claymore kicked Manopy down again. And now he's going to get ready to do the same thing to her that he did to Velasquez yesterday. Gorilla Monsoon said, here comes the Claymore kick. All right, time to say goodbye. Oh, he missed. And Manopy dropped Drew McIntyre. This match is over. She can't hold Drew McIntyre down. And now Velasquez, I don't know what Velasquez was doing. She's done it. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, Manopy. Manopy stood up for Velasquez. And now Drew McIntyre has no one to guilt only himself, Gorilla Monsoon says, for losing that match here today on NXT. You know, I can tell you one thing right now, Corey Graves says, Drew McIntyre does not like losing. He doesn't know how to deal with it. And losing to Manopy, if I'm saying her name right or not, he's going to see that as a slight, that he lost to a strong woman. Well, Booker T says she got the upper hand on him because she kicked him between the legs, you know, which is sad. She shows no onlook and no class. Well, she showed more onlook and class that Drew McIntyre ever did, either in WWE or in the TWF, Gorilla Monsoon says. And now we're going to take it away now to Jim Ross. Thank you, Gorilla Monsoon. I'm going to be talking with Mano-P here today on NXT. Mano-P, we understand that you had this match to stand up for Belasca. Yes, I did. I stood up for my sister, my strong woman sister, my Demskavia sister, Belasca. We're not sisters by blood. We're not kin. But we are sisters because we belong to the same land. Demoskava, Queendom Folkright, lorded over by the queen, by the kind and fair, Queen Eleanor Starberg the First. And as her head of the Queen's Keepers, I'm entrusted with watching over the stronghold, and her daughter, Maya, and anyone else, and other folks. And I could tell you Drew McIntyre knows nothing about onlooking class, but I taught him. Well, what we saw here today, was that what you call a Discavian match? Yes, you did. It was what you call a Discavian match. Now, Mano-P, I guess, she takes her work earnest. She takes being the head of the Queen's Keepers earnest. But she is a kind-hearted woman. She once helped a boy named Criffin who was lost and could not see, and helped him seek his mother and father. They took him to meet the Queen Eleanor Starberg, and at the time the first Wicker, Mano-P. So she broke oversight to help a boy who was sad. So you know that she's got a kind heart. But there was no kindness shown to Drew McIntyre because Drew McIntyre harmed us. So sometimes they say a tooth for a tooth and an eye for an eye. But we're not taking anyone's teeth or eyes. We're just giving them beatdowns. Well, thank you, Mano-P and Belasca. Well, back to you, Gorilla Monsoon. Well, thank you, Jim Ross, for talking with Mano-P and Belasca here today on NXT. And that's all the time we got here for NXT. I, Gorilla Monsoon, with Corey Graves and Booker T. We hope you like NXT, and we'll see you tomorrow for Dynamite or Mike.